What's up YouTube, Silver Dragons here, and in this video we're talking about silver and what is likely to drive the price up in the future. So let's do it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I do sincerely appreciate it. If you want to learn more about investing in precious metals, or if you just want to watch awesome videos about gold and silver, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, so what are the factors that could drive silver prices up in the future? Well, there's really three main factors. The first is inflation. So if the value of the US dollar comes down, we could see silver prices go up as a result. The second is demand. If we see an increased demand for silver in the future, this would drive the price up as well. And the third is hype. We've seen this before back in the 80s with the Hunt brothers, back in 2011. Towards the tail end of a bull run, hype could drive the price up extremely fast. So which one of these is going to have the biggest impact in the near future? Well, let's dive in. In regard to inflation, I found this article that says the price index for American consumer spending, also known as the PCE index, rose at a rate of 4.2% in the year ended July, the fastest pace since January 1991. And just on a side note, this is a record for me. This is the fastest it's gone up in my lifetime. Moving on, stripping out food and energy items, the prices of which tend to be more volatile, the inflation index stood at 3.6%, flat from the month before, and remained at its highest level since March 1991. So in regard to current inflation and inflation moving forward, will this play a role in silver prices in moving them higher? And I say the answer is yes. I mean, certainly the price of silver is much higher today than it was a few years ago. Is this mostly due to inflation or hype? It is possible that some of this is due to hype. However, there has been a massive amount of currency creation in just the last year. So I think inflation has played a key role in moving silver prices up thus far, and I do believe it will continue to push prices up higher in the future. Now, what about demand for physical silver? What would cause the demand to increase and push the price of silver higher in the future? Well, currently, silver is used in industry. It's also used for bullion, like these coins you see right here. It's used in jewelry, it's used in silverware. There's a lot of applications, but the biggest by far is definitely the industrial application for silver. Silver is the best electrical and thermal conductor of all the metals, and so it is used in industrial fabrication, including electrical applications such as conductors, switches, contacts, and fuses. The article goes on to talk about three different categories in which silver demand is increasing. These include solar panels, automotive industry, and brazing and soldering. It's no surprise that with governments around the world pushing for green energy, solar panels are going to become more widely used. Now, electric vehicles use about 50% more silver than conventional vehicles, and they are becoming more popular, so this will increase silver demand as well. Silver is sometimes looked at as a green metal because it is used so much in green energy solutions. So if those products continue to increase in demand, then it only makes sense that silver prices would increase as a result. And I actually have a funny little thing to show you here. Because silver is the most reflective of all metals, if you hold it up to something that's green, the silver will literally appear green. Just a funny side note. So far in this video, we've talked about how inflation and demand could both benefit silver, but we have not talked about hype yet, and I think this is the least understood, but perhaps the most crucial thing that could push silver prices to a level you could not even imagine. Now, before I get into all of that, I want to talk about an amazing opportunity. I want to talk about a metal that is not silver, but it is related to green energy, and it does have a lot of potential moving forward. I'm talking about uranium. I'm so excited because I was able to partner with Amir Adani and UEC to bring you this video, so check this out. Uranium is one of those metals that you can't buy and stack like silver and gold, so if you want to invest in uranium, you have to invest in a uranium company, and that's where New York Stock Exchange listed UEC, or Uranium Energy Corporation, comes in. UEC is the largest U.S. resource base of fully permitted ISR projects in Texas and Wyoming of any U.S.-based producer. They have a U.S. production profile of 4 million pounds a year, but how much uranium is actually needed? In 2020, the demand for uranium was 180 million pounds. However, the production was only 123 million pounds, leaving a gap of 57 million pounds below the requirements. Uranium spot price is currently around $30 a pound, which is a 70% increase over the last 5 years. However, it's still well below its all-time highs. The bottom line is that uranium is needed for nuclear energy, and that market is expanding rapidly. UEC is possibly the most inclusive and comprehensive way to get into uranium. Not only do they own the physical supply of uranium, but also 14 million shares of the only uranium royalty company in the world. They have $123 million in cash, equity, and physical holdings, and Spencer Abraham, the former energy secretary, is on their board of directors. Uranium Energy Corporation is one of the only uranium companies on the New York Stock Exchange, so if you want to check them out and see if they're right for you and your portfolio, I will put some links down below in the description. I do want to say a massive thank you to UEC for partnering with me and making this video possible. Uranium and silver are both needed for the green energy movement, so this demand for these metals could definitely push the prices up much higher. One other thing is that I encourage people to diversify their portfolio when it comes to metals. I personally stack silver, I stack gold, I've bought platinum, actually my first piece of palladium right there in the middle. So when it comes to metals, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket, and uranium you can't stack, as I mentioned. So if you do want to invest in uranium, I highly recommend doing your due diligence on a company like UEC. And in regard to silver, I still want to talk about the hype factor because this is a big one. The first time we saw silver get hyped up was when the Hunt brothers started buying massive amounts of it, and in 1980, the price went up to $50 an ounce. And if you adjust for inflation, that would be over $100 an ounce today. The second time silver was hyped up and reached nearly $50 an ounce was at the peak of the bull run in 2011. Now the question is, why did silver get hyped up so much? The answer is FOMO, or fear of missing out, coupled with the mania phase at the tail end of a bull run. When people see the price of silver going up, they all start to pile on and say, look, this is something I don't want to miss out on. If I buy silver and the price continues to go up, well, I'm going to be loaded. So people come in at the very end when the price is already super elevated and they buy. In fact, that is when demand is at its absolute peak, at its highest for physical bullion. So that is not when you want to be investing in silver or stacking it the heaviest. You want to be buying before that time. So I would recommend taking a step back, looking at the price of silver today and saying to yourself, is it at a peak? Is it going up super fast because of all of this demand? And if the answer is no, well, then maybe you should look at stacking some of it for yourself. And if you just want to buy silver to preserve your wealth over a long period of time because of inflation and a weaker and weaker US dollar, well, I think that is very prudent as well, and that is what I am currently doing myself. As I wrap up the video, I want to ask you all, what do you think will be the biggest factor in driving silver prices up in the future? Do you think it will be inflation, demand, hype, or a combination of all three, feel free to put your comments down below in the comment section. And once again, I want to say thank you to UEC for partnering with me in this video. If you want to check out Uranium and UEC for yourself, again, those links will be down below in the description. And the last thing I want to say is just a massive thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you all in the next one. Silver Dragons out.